While you're enjoying the TAB State Championships, what about experiencing some of the other iconic attractions in the Dubbo region in your free time? Meet incredible wildlife at Taronga Western Plains Zoo. Step inside the historic Old Dubbo Jail. Discover the inspiring Royal Flying Doctor Service visitor experience and explore the spectacular Wellington Caves. If you've got a little extra time, make the most of your visit. Head to dubboregion.com.au/visit and start planning your adventure today.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Welcome back. Welcome back to beautiful Club Dubbo. We are here with you for round 3 action here in the women's fours, and it's going to be Maitland City's Jess Fisher up against Sarah Boddington from Forster. Both these teams come in with 1 win and 1 loss. Both those teams have fallen to what looks to be a rampant Tarrant Point side, who are currently leading the section. I'll run through all the section standings in just a moment. But your teams here today for Forster, it's Jennifer Northam, Karen Woodman, Verena Stafford, and skip Sarah Boddington. While for Maitland City, Shendelle Smith, Lynn Strickleton, Carolyn Hooker, and Jess Fisher. Those are your combatants here in this afternoon's third round match. There's lots of games going on here. The TAB State Championships. We are just about to get underway. We had a few later finishing matches earlier on in this morning's session. There was an 18-all draw between Tarrant Point and Maryland's in the men's fours. So that's going to perhaps open things up in that section. In this section here, though, it is section number 2 in the women's fours. All the bowls have been rolled, and it is going to be a discussion about who has the mat. And Maitland City said, "Oh, that's right, it's us." And it will be Shendelle Smith to get us underway here in the first end. So this is section number 2 of the women's fours. So Tarrant Gaycoats, Louise Cronin and Leanne Chinnery from Tarrant Point are looking rampant at the moment. They are 2 wins plus 34. So their margin is looking really, really good. A win each for Forster and Maitland City. They both come at the expense of Springwood. And Springwood will need to spring a real surprise over Tarrant Point if there is to be any change to the standings in this section 2 here in the women's state fours. Section number 1, the Gunnedah team, Leanne Pryor, Charlie Cameron, Joe Briggs and Ella Cameron are in front. They knocked off Warilla this morning. And section number 3, St John's Park, Brianna Smith looking, well, once again, just in ominous form. They have got a big lead in that section and have they've rattled up a bit of a score against all their opponents. Good from Jen here. Bit anxious about being on the stream. Well, you won't be if you start like that. Super start. See, beautiful bright sunshine. The players have removed a lot of the jackets, a lot of the beanies, a lot of the heavy coats that we saw first up this morning. Shendelle, well, she put on a good, aggressive line there. Gave it a chance. Now for Jennifer Northam, just looking to play it again, really. So, yes, in section 3, it is St John's Park who, well, even if they do lose the game, their margin is 64 shots better than the next best team currently. So, can't see that happening. They are taking on, who are they taking on below us? They're taking on Leeton and District. So, Leeton, I wish them good luck. And in section number 4, Park Beach, the Amanda Monk skipped team is leading there, but that section's probably not necessarily over yet. It's been a little bit more competitive. And Park Beach coming up against East Maitland, who are without a win, but look a better side than that. So that's what's happening in the women's fours. This is Karen Woodman just sailing past. We've seen the Forster girls just perhaps a little nervous energy from them to commence this contest. Jess Fisher's applauding this one. That's a lovely bowl. Lynn Strickleton. I was told, don't I dare call her Lynette Strickleton. So get tabs on me with that one. Do drop us a comment and let us know where you're watching around Australia or around the world. Nick Hind is my name. It's fantastic to have your company here at the TAB State Championships. This is the second last day. We've almost done it through wind and rain. We've really tested the mettle of our volunteers, our host clubs, our green staff. And we thank all who have been involved in the magnificent hosting of this, the 25-26 State Championships here from the Golden West. We're here with you at Club Dubbo, with thanks to our support venues, North Dubbo RSL Sporties and the great Macquarie Club. We have got through the program. We'll get through tomorrow. The forecast is very pleasant. Currently 2 to Maitland City. And Sarah Boddington just saying, yeah, just go and park one right on that, please. And Verena Stafford, well, she's listened. How good is her listening? It's a good effort. Warilla Ladies Fours are in action this afternoon, Christine. You can follow along with their matches on the Bowls Link app. Head to your app store, download the Bowls Link app, or in your browser, type in results.bowlslink.com.au. And for Jess Fisher, she's going to ask for this one to hold and get right back down to the back. A couple of little springs there. Probably 3 now, I feel, to Maitland City. And Forster haven't really done a heap wrong here. It's just been some superior draw bowls from the Fisher team. Once again, flops off the inside of that, just not quite catching the right edge was Verena Stafford. And I'm going to have a look here. Could be as many as 3, could be as few as 1 shot to Maitland City. But it's high fives all around as the players swap over. I'll bring you the update of the men's state fours in just a moment. We'll get through to the completion of this end, because there has been some excitement there, and then we'll go around the grounds. They've only just finished at Sporties. The lightning fast synthetic greens there have once again made the time of game a potential issue, because while they've got lights, it's not particularly pleasant to be out there after 5 o'clock if the wind gets up. But we've got a beautiful day here in sunny Dubbo. 16 degrees currently, probably reaching for a high of 17. We might get a little bit more warmth than this, but temperature will dive back into the single digits once the sun goes down. It's a lovely bowl there from Sarah. That'll be number 1, I feel. Up and down. Probably doesn't really change Jess Fisher's shot. She can get to... She gets the inside of the bowl. That's really good. Get down with the appropriate tool. There you go. That's one for the bingo card. Now with the appropriate tool, turn that blue bowl outwards would be very, very good. She's just missing on the firm side. Well, if it wasn't shot before, it probably is now. A little bit harder to dig out. Sarah Boddington asking if she's up or down. She's a diminutive figure, but a massive presence on the green and a massive talent, Sarah Boddington. Oh, she's played this about as well as you can hope for. Turns back down. They'll measure that front red potentially against the blue bowl of Sarah Boddington. Yes. Tape emerging. And looks to have been one shot to Forster. It is. So, well done to Sarah. They claim the first end. In the men's fours action, I promised I'd let you know what was happening there. And in section number 1, well, that was where the excitement was at the conclusion of that game. Maryland's were in the ascendancy almost all the way, but a 5-shot pickup to Tarrant Point toward the end gave them a sniff, and they caught up and got themselves a draw. And with their margin, Tarrant Point moved to the top of the ladder. So the Scorchers with Ray Pearce, David Axon, Kyle Hansen, Shane White. It's a bit of a team, isn't it? Are leading in that section, but this is the probably one of the couple of sections of death in the men's fours. In second place, Peter Harry, Sean Thompson, Jack McShane, and David Ferguson for Maryland's. They're 1 win, 1 draw +3. Lurking in third, though, after a first round defeat, Bryce Billington, Joey Clark, Matt Peterson, and Ben Twist. 1 win, 1 loss, but +18 importantly. So their destiny potentially in their own hands still, St John's Park. If result, well, not quite. They still need results to go their way. But St John's Park up against Maryland's in the final round. Tarrant Point, our current leaders, up against Park Beach. More good leading here from Jen Northam. She's stuck a couple on. In section number 2, this is, well, it's just a straight shootout for the final spot. It's the Shane Globert's Tuncurry Beach team against the Rowan Wilson Marimbula team. Both of those sides have defeated Gunnedah, who are now out of the competition with Warilla's withdrawal. So we'll see how that goes there. Close here. Good shot. She's going to hang on to it, I think. Yeah, Sarah says, Houston, you've held on. That'll be good for Karen. She came into this side as a substitute. Well, she wasn't originally part of the team at any rate, and she's come in, she's played well. Lynn now just going to slip past. A little bit firm. I'm okay that she gave it a chance, though. There was a chance to get down and sit the shot bowl on a slightly tighter line there. Now for Karen Woodman. She's a real vibrant character, is Karen. You can see Bodo's calling for it to go. Gets the gate here. That's going to be superbly played. Karen, take a bow. Super shot. Well, we might be hitting the replay button on that. She had some nerves, but she's going to have something to show the family when she gets home. Look at this bowl I played on the Bowls New South Wales live stream. Bono now, she's giving some freedom to Verena to pick her hand. Let's go park one close. This looks to be pretty well pointed too from Verena Stafford. There's a little bit more turn on that hand than what we might be used to. The breeze that we've seen in recent days that was giving us a real obvious wide hand, a tight hand situation is not there. And it's a little bit easier for players to get bowls to turn around. This one might just do it here. See, Jess was very enthusiastic, just going to crush into the front. In the men's fours in Section 3, it is Jay by Norris, who've had two very, very dominant wins. They're plus 28 after knocking off their section mates in Young and we see another one there from Forster get in. They've knocked off Young and Penrith. And the Nathan Wise team has got a big battle to face this afternoon if they're going to fire a shot there. Yeah, Carolyn Hooker. Well, another one that I like the track on. She's going to stay up for the jack. This is very close. It's a great effort. And just sliding past, but you can see a few catches there, but favourite might be two to the Forster quartet. And then finally, in section number 4, it is our morning match, the entrants who have got 2 wins up there. They're taking on East Lismore this afternoon, who you never know, they might spring an upset. East Lismore do need to win by 9 shots or more if they are to progress against the Shane Gibbons skipped team from the entrance this afternoon. So still plenty to play for here. As we know, you might just find a little kingmaker somewhere, or a team can pull a surprise out of thin air almost. And Sarah Boddington, well, she can certainly play. She can pull things out that very few players have the capability to do with the regularity that Sarah Boddington does. Jess Fisher. Oh, it's a lovely bit of pace. Might flop in and be second shot. I think so. For Sarah now. I'm going to take a slightly higher line. There's much more finish today with the improved conditions. Can turn that bowl down for another counter. She might have made 2 or 3 here, Sarah. Indication from her teammates is not sure that they really like it so much. Carolyn Hooker's saying you can still get in there. You've got half a metre or so. Just need to take a slightly tighter line. This is a tighter line, a little bit more pace here. Can she get all the way through? Well, that's going to work. Probably not exactly how it was drawn up, but one shot it is to Maitland City. Fortune favours the brave. And when you can see Jess Fisher, she's got her head down a little bit. She knows she's a better player than that, and that's not necessarily how she would have liked to have drawn shot there, but like in many sports, the scoreboard doesn't record precisely how you got it, just the outcome. So for Jess Fisher, it is a single shot, and it is 1-1 through 2 ends here in round 3 action of the women's state fours here from Club Dubbo. Nick Hind is my name. Great to have Kim watching from Parks. Boddington, of course. She's a frequent flyer on these streams. She's watching in Thailand, of course, cheering on Sarah. I'm sure they'll have the tellies on in the Forster Tuncurry Manning Great Lakes region, as they will in the Hunter in Maitland and all around New South Wales, Australia and the world, as we bring you these beautiful pictures here from our fabulous host venue, Club Dubbo. Dean Hodges saying bingo in the background. I haven't done quite everything on the bingo card just yet, but he might be getting a shot glass ready for later on. I've heard rumours that there are people taking advantage of my commentary style to have a sneaky beverage. Very good there from Shendelle Smith. I think both these leads have jumped out of the gate looking pretty likely. Now Lynn Strickleton. We only had a brief conversation, but she gives off that air of a very confident and seasoned campaigner. Yeah, she's played that neatly. Got the shot now. Got a nice little catcher. And Bono's calling for just a confident draw here. On the forehand side, Karen Woodman, if she can get down and get the inside part of the shot bowl, she's played it with good speed. One of those shots, though, you can't really miss narrow. Don't have a lot of margin. Oh, Jess is enthusiastic once again. This is going to be 2 handy bowls in Strickleton. She gets hand slaps from her teammates at the back of the rink. Karen Woodman being advised, don't need to change too much here, mate. Already played the first one well. This looks to be better too from Karen. She can stop around for the shot bowl. She's played it beautifully. Just got it up and over. That's unlucky. She gets the inside part of that bowl and she's going to sit and stay for number 1 as it is. The jack squeezed out and has made 3. I think I still like the backhand here for Maitland City. And you can turn any of your own down onto the jack. I know there is a perfect bowl on this forehand side. Going to put a little touch on it, but I say so often, perfection, get your bingo cards out, is the enemy of good. And, you know, you have to play almost a perfect bowl out there. There's a few more ways to win on the backhand for Maitland City. I'm okay with this save from Sarah. 3 down, just get me one close. Verena looked like she didn't quite get that one away as she would have would have wished. The pace isn't... Oh, still needed a little bit more. Now, this is better. Jess Fisher does like it. She's going to go skating on through this hole. So, that's the risk playing that hand for Maitland City. It's hard to add on unless you play a bowl as good as this. Well, that's a super shot. Tip of the cap from Sarah Boddington. So she was just a bit cautious there. Just raised the brim a few times. Let's have a look at that on the replay. As I say, it has to be just about spot on out there. Really nothing to sit on. And the jack wide open. But Sarah Boynton hand went to the cap very early. And of course our replay's in the road of that. Well, we'll tie that one up in post. You might see that later on the Bowls New South Wales social media channels. So make sure you like, follow, subscribe. Have your notifications turned on all across Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, anywhere that you want to interact with our sport. We're there and we're here for you this afternoon from Club Dubbo. Well, this is a good effort here from Jess. Made a valiant effort. But again, it's a hard one to get the shot. You really need to be getting the jack or the bowl clean. And on that forehand, it looks hard. I still like the backhand for Maitland City. Yeah, that's a Maitland City bowl. You can turn that up through the jack. You can get through there. There's a few ways to win. But Jess Fisher, she's committed. But also play the shot that you believe in. Well, you can see being urged to get down. This is getting down all right. Clips the jack across. Oh, I feel as though Verena's stayed with it, has she? She'll go and give Sarah her best indication. One down, perhaps. So the red bowl of Lynn Strickland. Now potentially the best. Let's go and give you the side camera there. So the black bowl and the red on the left-hand side, that's Lynn Strickland. The black bowl at the back is Verena Stafford. And for Sarah, well, see which way she opts to play here. If she feels she's got the shot, there might be an opportunity to draw down on the forehand. If she feels it's away, might be a backhand shot available. We'll see what she's going to look to achieve here. Everything pretty well split up. I don't see a big number anywhere. So Boddington now. It's backhand. And well, the challenge here is getting a clear run. Well, she's Sarah Boddington. She's done that. Just didn't quite have the legs. And I expect we'll see the tape come out again in just a moment. Yes. What's going on? We'll spin through some of the results. This is the seniors and the reserves. We're hoping, it looks as though the senior men have just commenced their second round today. So the PM session, round 3 action at Dubbo City. And it is one shot, yes, a bit unfortunate. Good bowls played, but Jess Fisher and the Maitland City crew, they've claimed a 2-1 advantage. We've had 3 ends completed. So knowing that they're on the greens, I will bring you some more of the permutations there. So in the men's senior fours, so Bruce Lack from Temora has had 2 wins and is looking to be, well, he's on the inside track to win that section there. Section 2, Dale Maitland from the Hills is in front with 2 victories and a strong margin there. Paul Leckie from Harbord has a win and a draw. And Rick Southam also with a win and a draw. And currently the margin is the same there too. So Harbord go through. And Paul Leckie knows a little bit about sneaking through on margins and percentage. Happened to him in the singles. Eric Johannes, Corrimal team, had a big win this morning to restore some of their lost margin. But they might need results to go their way if they are to progress. And it's section 4 is Jeff Myers out front. 2 wins and the only positive margin in that section. So that's a it's looking like South Tamworth will progress in section 4. I'll go and have a look now at the women's senior fours championships. So through 2 rounds there, we see North Haven in section number 1. Gwen Saunders skipped team out in front. Bronwyn McPherson for Engadine is looking the likely winner in section number 2. Had 2 wins. Chris Myers is sitting in second there with a win and a draw. So Chris Myers, that could be a costly draw. She's already had a great campaign. Carmen Anderson for Cabramatta holds sway in section number 3, while Jennifer Naismith from Warilla is currently leading in section 4. So still a little bit to play for. And I believe Warilla in that section are playing against Merimbula in the final round. And Merimbula have a superior margin, so Merimbula could just spring a little upset there. Joy Scott, I've played a little bit against her. She's a real character. Lovely lady, fantastic competitor. As we see now. Another lovely lady and fantastic competitor, Lynn Strickleton. Looking to nail this. The players, well, they'd concede this isn't up to their lofty standards at this stage. But we've seen some good stuff. I think Karen Woodman's looked really likely here. Particularly when she's been given just a little target, so Bono's calling for this one to hold. I don't think it needs to hold too much. This is good from Karen. Well, sometimes the commentator's curse doesn't stop the player. She's played that one well. I called for it, and it was duly forthcoming. And this is Caroline Hooker. Being urged up there by Jess. I think that's going to do enough. Yeah. No. Bono's still confident that Forster have the shot. She's saying, really, you can play a nice high line there. It's not like you have to draw to 3 millimetres away. Just give me a good one. Even a good second shot would be really valuable at this stage. Well, that's almost exactly where Sarah Boddington's foot was. And that will be 2 shots to Forster. Well, it was 2 shots to Forster. It's now 1 to Maitland City. Turns the head over. That's a great bowl from Carolyn. The first one wasn't far off. And for Verena Stafford, well, you do have to draw a little bit closer now. This looks to be on a too high of a line. So as the players cross over, good close contest. Really, at this point, we'll bring up all the results. So this is the matches here, and some important final round games. None more so than we know this one. Shane Glover's Tuncurry Beach versus Rowan Wilson Marimbula. That is a straight shootout for the section. The winner of that goes through to tomorrow's finals. Now, Sarah, can she sneak past? Can she slip past? She's done enough. What a shot, Sarah Boddington. She's just class. Yeah, 1 down. Can get to it on the backhand. Yeah, I like that call. Get to it on the backhand and pop it off. From Carolyn, but Jess Fisher. Might be something that she likes on this hand. She's played forehand a few times, and I feel there's a more likely option. This is the shot that I like for Jess Fisher. Get down to that bowl and pop. Sarah Boddington out of the head. For Bono, though, she's a chance to just duplicate and add on. Don't think that's going to do enough. And it is 1 to Sarah Boddington, 1 to Forster. And we've had 4 ends completed. 4 shots have been scored. And they've been split down the middle. We might be going 21 ends to complete. 11-10. Anybody want to bet against me? You're most welcome. Nick Hind is my name. We're here from beautiful Club Dubbo in even more beautiful sunshine. And we're going to see, it feels like a close tussle between 2 very well matched teams with Maitland City being skipped by Jess Fisher and Sarah Boddington, having the honour of taking that role for Forster. lovely comment coming there from Elise, my favourite commentator. Well, she's about my favourite person. I tell her every day that she's very lucky. My partner Elise, she's watching on from Jindabyne. Hope that you're having a nice day and that the dogs are being kind to you. They're doing the right thing. Looking forward to getting home on Monday, and I think from all of us at the Bowls New South Wales team, it's been a massive campaign here. We're 2.5 weeks in, and morale is high, but as you can appreciate, across 2.5 weeks when we've had so many matches played, so much content to produce, we'll all be excited to go home and get ready for the next event. And, well, it just never stops. Coming up, we've got the state pennant finals, men's and women's pennant finals, open pennant finals, before we get into a little quiet period through September and October, and then it's the end of the year. Madness, over 40s finals, rookies finals, nationals qualifiers, including mixed pairs finals. So, a huge campaign for all of us. We thank our tremendous volunteers, particularly those at the three clubs that are servicing us for this event: Club Dubbo, North Dubbo, RSL, Sporties, and the Macquarie Club. Without the support of those venues and those volunteers, this event would not happen. Karen was calling for that one to hold out of the hand. So Sarah now, she's pointed it pretty well. Gets down to Lynn Strickland. It would have been an excellent, excellent bowl. Lynn's serviced her lead very, very well there. That was Shendelle Smith getting pumped up, and one of our commenters on the YouTubes. She's cheering for Shendelle from Ipswich in Queensland. We've got Butch watching on from Maitland City, and we've got players, fans, spectators all around the club here today, enjoying fabulous sunshine here in Dubbo. Oh, we've got a fly on the lens. I wonder if I can shoo it off by moving the camera a little bit. I didn't like it. Let's just slip past there. I'll reset that camera. And well, that's an attacking line from Forster there. Verena's not absolutely nailed what she was looking to do. And all of a sudden this is setting up for a good collect for the Jess Fisher Maitland City team. It's just going to slide past the back of the rink. There's a smattering of bowls back there. But it's currently, well, my estimate is that the best bowl of Foster's currently is this guy here. So For mine, it's going to be 1, 2, 3 at the very least, and potentially 4 to Maitland City. Expect that Sarah Boddington can do something to change that up. Well, she's got a great track once again. Sarah Boddington, what a player that she is. Not sure how many. It's probably cut at least one out. Yeah. If you can read the Carolyn Hooker sign language, she's saying we've got 1, maybe 3. And sensibly staying off any potential improvement for a Forster bowl. That was her own that she gave a clout to. Now, unless Verena's given clear and explicit instructions, if I'm Sarah Boddington, I'd like to know if we do have second shot here. Probably doesn't change the situation too much, but just give you that confidence that you can read. She played it fairly tight. You can see the weight there. It crashed through the front, so after playing the first one so brilliantly, we'll see here if Jess Fisher can add on as that fly shoots off. Careful, Jess. Careful. You can see Carolyn saying, oh, you didn't need to be quite that aggressive, mate. And now let's hope to do probably a full circuit of the remaining bowls on the green. So 1 taken out for Maitland City. They will lead. But second shot now between yes, no, not quite. Yes, no, not quite. So I think between Sarah on the right of picture there, and when we flip it around at the bottom of the picture, this is in Strickleton. And I think they're going to ask, do you want to call an umpire? Or do you want to concede? Umpire has been called. While we do that, we're going across to Andrew Lynn for an update on everything that you can do around Dubbo. Linny.
While you're enjoying the TAB State Championships, what about experiencing some of the other iconic attractions in the Dubbo region in your free time? Meet incredible wildlife at Taronga Western Plains Zoo. Step inside the historic Old Dubbo Jail. Discover the inspiring Royal Flying Doctor Service visitor experience and explore the spectacular Wellington Caves. If you've got a little extra time, make the most of your visit. Head to dubboregion.com.au/visit and start planning your adventure today.
Welcome back. Fabulous read there from Andrew Lynn. He's so consistent with that. Don't know how he gets it. His timing just perfect every single occasion we throw to him. As John Rodas out there with the umpire's gear on. And what looks to be an antique hat. Let's see if I can get a better view on the hat there. That's got to be from several previous administrations ago. There goes the lid. Has he thrown it down? I can't get it. Can't get a look at it. John Rodas. He's too canny. Out there. He's going to make a determination on which bowl is second shot. We know that it is currently 1 to Maitland City. I'll bring the scoreboard back in. So Maitland City will move on to 3. And while John Rodas is doing that, we'll go around the grounds here at the other venues in Dubbo. So we've got seniors in action at Dubbo City. And John Rodis doing a splendid job trying to get the most refined possible measure there. Eric Johannes out to a big start early. He needs Curry to get a win. So I'm sure there'll be plenty cheering for some of our current state number 1 pennant final winners from last year. And one shot is all. So we thank John Rodis for his service. I'm going to see if I can get a glimpse of that hat. Yeah, that's an antique. Bowls New South Wales. That logo, I think, went away with the dinosaurs. So, John Rodis with the museum piece. We thank him for his service as always. We thank all our volunteers, our markers, our umpires. He had a huge contingent through the Para campaign, particularly. Troy Rogers, I see, has jumped on the call. Great to see you in action, Troy, during the Para campaign. And only just kicking off in the reserves, so a few games, probably the slightly staggered start time with the quick greens at Dubbo City. Macquarie getting away a little bit more promptly. I'll let you know what's happening in the reserve fours. So in section number 1, for those that are fans of all the clubs, Craig Scott, who was recently crowned as the reserve singles champion, he is on top with his Cronulla quartet. See there, players watching on intently. Yes, so they lead the Marks Point guys, who have had a win and a draw. It's a loss and a draw for Wagga Rules, while Tuncurry Beach are winless in that section. The Allens, Brock and Kine Allen, along with Mum Melissa and Kay Jewson, they're on top in section number 2. Section 3 is Gilgandra. They've had 2 good wins. The other side that a lot of us liked here was the Elliots from Taralga, who were, of course, the reserve pairs winners. They're playing with Michael Jenkins and Alan O'Neill, but are yet to... are probably unlikely to progress. And in Section 4, Merimbula have hit the front there. So 1 win, 1 draw for Chris Platt, Rodney Lingway, Peter Lippi and Terry Ubrehen. And with a win and a draw, they've jumped the Cabramatta team, who also has 1 win, 1 draw. So few options still available in the Open Reserve Championships. Plenty still to happen here in the women's fours. Tomorrow morning, Andrew Lynn returns to the broadcast with plenty of action. It'll be men's semi-final tomorrow morning, so still a little bit of a TBA on who that's going to be. So we'll wait and see what happens in this afternoon's contests. Here's Karen Woodman. See, Bodo's asking that one to hang out. She's got the weight to sort of make it stand tall a bit, and there's a few favourable edges here, like that, and that. Well, You play good weight, you get good results. As I say, it's the more fortunate outcome, but the bowls were lined up perfectly for Karen Woodman there. And for that almost exact result. It's being called to get down by Jess Fisher. What a shot! That's magnificent. Carolyn Hooker played that absolutely beautifully. Karen had the more fortunate outcome to get the shot. Sort of on again here. Well, didn't quite do it and has now taken away that little ledge to get off. And you can see Jess Fisher, well, if you can get me something 2 foot past, as close to the centre line as you can, would be just fantastic, please. This will be close to the centre line, but it's going to be cutting. Really wanted to finish on the other side there. Yeah, you can see Botto's call. You don't need to play this with a heap of weight. Just almost any amount of contact through the front. Verena has, well, she's made sure it got there. And a little tip into the sand under the number 6 here at Forster Bowling Club. So you can see it's the purple bowl and the blue and black. They're both belonging to Maitland City. It looks to me as if they are number 1 and number 2, and then the black bowl of Verena Stafford third. Sorry, that's the purple and black bowl of this one just here under the number 1. This fella just there. That's the best for Forster, and that is Karen Woodman. And you can see there on your picture the desire to have something, 2 foot past, and then as close to the centre line as you dare. Early doors, it was getting urged on. Well, hasn't made it worse in terms of numbers, but probably has made it worse in terms of visibility and access. I wonder if Sarah Boddington, she's calling, she wants to play quick on the forehand. And I'm about this, get the split and run on. I expect she'll have her charges well enough trained that they will give her permission. She might just be telling them what shot I'm going to play rather than requesting the permission to do so. So Botto with firm weight. You can see as soon as the weight gets put on it, removes a little bit of the finish. That is a Jess Fisher bowl that got pumped to the back of the rink there. So that last bowl, the deepest bowl in the rink, does belong to Maitland City. That might slow Sarah Boddington down. And Carolyn Hooker. Well, what has she done? She's tucked the bowl onto the jack, kissed it around the corner. Is it 1 to... Is it 1 to Forster? Some discussion coming here. We've just been given a prod to say, don't forget to put the last end on, which is absolutely correct. All the fun of Andrew Lynn's live read and changing things around. Well, we're back live, and the scoreboard is now live and correct through 5 completed ends. I think Sarah's talking about, yeah, you can see the visual from her there, rolling the blue and black bowl over onto the jack. Not much really on for Sarah Boddington at the moment. And as I say, with Jess Fisher now having control of the back of the rink, I feel as though she probably doesn't have the freedom to play weight at this, other than to turn a bowl a couple of times. So Boddington, she's got it going on a decent enough line here. Just doesn't quite have the weight to hold it for the shot she was looking for. The speed was maybe, yeah, just a fraction under. No, it's going to be another measure. Maybe another umpire, maybe another Andrew Lynn live read. I don't know if the viewers can handle that. One shot it is to Maitland City, so they've hung on to it. 4 shots to 2. 6 ends have been completed. Jason Pinnock reminding us that Carolyn and Jess were last year's women's pairs finalists in Ballina. They are a formidable duo. Well, you're not wrong, Jason. I think you can see there's some real confidence in how they call for one another and how they play together. And, well, we've seen 6 ends completed here, all ones. As I'm looking at the window and I can see Taryn Point enjoying some sweeties, which to their great credit they are sharing with their Springwood opponents. And it's going to be Shendelle to get us back underway here in number 7. And I can tell you, for those who have entered in the rookies, expect the draw will be released very, very soon. We've had, once again, an enormous amount of entries to run eligibility checks on. We do ensure that everybody who is nominated meets the entry criteria. It's probably a good time to remind, though, that nominations remain open for the rookie pairs. You can get all the way to the state finals at Raymond Terrace later on this year. So nominations remain open for that. Nominations also remain open for over 40 pairs qualifying. So get in for that, as well as BPL Cup. Make sure that you're getting in for BPL Cup at venues all around New South Wales. Good shooting there from Shendelle. Tied it up on the first one. Jen Northam started brightly here for Bodo, but she's definitely got some credits in the bank because, as you say, she's made it to a state final. Not everyone can say that. But she's just missed the last couple of ends. Expect she'll come back into this before too long. It's a big campaign for a lot of these players. I mean, Sarah Boddington, she's played nearly as many matches as Rowan Wilson, and she's probably looking a bit better though. She hasn't had hasn't kept the same company as Rowan. Those Marimbula degenerates. They're out there again, and here's Marimbula versus Tuncurry Beach in the men's fours for the title. So we'll keep you updated with that. You can grab your device and keep yourself updated at home. It is 8-5 currently through 7 ends to Tuncurry Beach there. That match, the winner will progress to the semi-finals tomorrow. And for Rowan Wilson, the opportunity is still there to claim 3 state titles in a single season. Haven't seen a male player do that in a long, long time. Karen, she's played good speed there. It's a good adjustment. She's a really engaging character. And Jess Fisher, she's just going to say, you please yourself here. Yep. Saying no, play the forehand, please. Little trail on the jack's okay. You finish tight. You beat that black and purple bowl of Karen Woodman. Just an exercise in good weight control. You play a nice tight line down to this jack. You give it a good chance of getting the shot. Just overplayed it on the firm side, but as we know, a good player very likely to correct with the next one. Verena. Just need to sneak up after that magic meter. I know what Jess is trying to do here. Just let's give Carolyn a more visual guide. That's a heaps better bowl. Missed in a great area. Has made 2. Has made it much more difficult. Verena Stafford. She's going to go sneaking up to this last bowl. Sits it and doesn't quite get it going the right way. Have a look at that again. Sarah Boddington has got some real positive body language, though. Whether they have the shot Forster or not. You can see Boddo, she's a real leader of this quartet. But we do like the purple bowl there of Carolyn Hooker as number 1. She's having a look. She says, maybe not. I don't think it's changed the shot for Jess at all here. She just needs to be playing the same sort of thing. Get that jack moving just a fraction. Better off missing tight here than missing high. Speed just, again, a little bit firm. Now for Sarah. I favour she'll get something pretty close to the mark with this. This is excellent from Sarah Boddington. Which way is that jack going? She's gone with it through the hole. What a shot. Has she made shot? Well, there's some discussion from the girls as to which is number 1. I'm going to have a look. So that's what the side angle looks. And hard to tell whether it's the blue and black or the light blue of Sarah, which is the shot currently. does Jess Fisher decide to do here? Doesn't look particularly easy. It doesn't look as though it's massively inviting on either hand. I think there's a few more options on the forehand. Can look to probably play a little bit tighter than that. Get down, get through her own at the front, get to Sarah. Important not to be short. Well, some interest early from Kaz. Through the front. That's well done. It's a super shot. Going to make 2. And you see the smile on the big smile on the face of Sarah Boddington. She knows that was a great bowl. Let's have a look at that one again. It's important. If you're missing anywhere, it's tight and quick on this sort of shot, not high and wide. She played great weight. Got through the front. Got a super result. And has made 2 shots for Maitland City. Back live. And, well, Sarah Boddington keeps getting put under some pressure here. And let's see how she responds. Just got to take your medicine and try to draw this. Sarah, well, she can get her own bowl through that hole, rattle around. Well, has it moved her own up far enough? There might be another single here. Tape measure being suggested, perhaps. It's a tape measure once again. So Sarah Boddington fights to keep this head in contention. And one shot taken out, and it is one only. So it's another completed end. It's another single shot. And it is 5 shots to 2. 7 ends finished. Well, I did ask for an 11-10 victory to somebody. That continues to look likely. Go around the grounds once again. The seniors and reserves at the other 2 venues. Still at Macquarie and Dubbo City today. Their services have been massively appreciated. But all the action is here tomorrow, the final day of the TAB State Championships. It'll be Nick Hines' first and only day off. Tomorrow we'll have a complete day of leisure. And then we've got Thursday off too, where we have no event responsibilities before Friday. Lee and I are back in action here. We'll be running the herding role, the cattle dog, the border collie. Rounding up all the kids who'll be here for the junior inter-region 7 side. Fantastic to see so many new faces at this event. Fantastic to see this bowl here. What a shot. Shendelle's having a go. We'll have lots of new faces. We'll be streaming 3 sessions on Saturday and then 2 sessions on the Sunday. So we're looking forward to bringing you a little bit of everything. A reasonable effort there from Jen. She just dialed the weight back a little bit more than she probably needed. So yes, so we're going to be bringing you 2 sessions of pairs. So the first match 8:30 a.m. on Saturday morning. That's Australian Eastern Time. So do check your local guides for that. But it's going to be Dakota Metheringham and Katie Muncaster from the Hunter Valley up against Mia Bowman and Ethan Lacey from Midwest in the pairs. We're also doing a pairs match on Saturday afternoon from 2 o'clock, which will be Ryder Hawkins and Sam Powell from Metro Southeast up against Declan Cook and Toby Pados from the ACT. In between that, sandwich bookended in between that, we're going to see a singles match, which will be Hudson Alton from Southeast. He's up against the very impressive and current girls under 15 state champion Hannah Salatne. She's representing Metro Northeast in a composite team with the Central Coast. So Central Coast have got some bright young juniors, but they were a bit reluctant to throw any of them to the wolves in the cutthroat singles competition. So Hannah's going to be doing duties there and representing Metro Northeast. So great to see her in action. She's a brilliant young bowler. And then it'll be the fours semi-final on Sunday at 8:45 before it is the singles final at 11 a.m. So looking forward to bringing you a little bit of everything from the Junior Inter-Region 7-a-side this coming weekend. So make sure you like, follow, subscribe, have your notifications turned on as we look to bring you more beautiful pictures of the next generation of stars here in our sport. Watching Caroline Hooker just pull it up a little bit short. Good result there for Forster. They've not flummed the shot, but they've got the less conventional way. Jess Fisher's just going to go for a little chat up the rink. You can see she's talking with her partner in crime here, Carolyn Hooker. How do we play this? Well, I think you're firm. Wait under the front black bowl, looking swing for the jack or the bowl. She's going to line up backhand. This looks to be a really hard way to get to it. Unless she's setting up something for Jess, maybe. Stays up and stays on this side of the centre line. Well, she's played it, overplayed it. It's going to finish. Oh, no, not quite. Stayed up at the back of the rink. Botto now, she's called. Come and draw us another one, please. Well, that's just about second prize there. She finishes up a bowl shorter. That's probably about as good as you can hope for. Yeah, I don't understand what the appeal is on the backhand. You've got to play an absolutely perfect bowling to draw within one bowl and not move the jack on the backhand. I think the forehand, you've got more ways to win. I know you don't want to pluck that bowl out. That's the only one in the head currently for Maitland City, but it's reasonably well protected, and I don't think you're playing with massive silly weight. You know, enough weight to turn the black bowl twice is all that's required. But Jess Fisher's played in more state finals than I have. And she is the one who will, I'm hoping. Show me the way. Well, let's finish in the sort of home where there's another result on the forehand for Maitland City here. I think for Bodo, she's okay to try to draw this backhand. And a little touch is okay for her. She stopped, filled up that gate. Be interested to hear from Maitland City when they review this game. I'm sure they will. Yeah, Jess likes it the forehand, and I think she's identified the better shot here. I know there is some risk, but there's some risk that you cannot possibly get the shot playing backhand. Forehand, the jack can spill to the right of picture. And get down, looking to get the bowl. The jack can spill out to the right. That suggests Fisher bowl. And I think having that purple bowl there now probably won't go 3 down if the blue and black bowl of Shendelle Smith disappears. You know, it looks as though Jess is trying to talk Carolyn into this. At the end of the day, you're the skip. You're responsible. You say, look, I'll wear it if it goes wrong, but I just don't see how the draw is a percentage shot on the backhand. Let us know in the comments what you're playing. And then tell us how many state finals you've played in. It's very easy from behind a keyboard. It's very easy from up here. These players, they're the ones that are out there. They're doing it. And so Jess, she's lining up forehand. And well, I like that she played it. Probably didn't need to be going quite that quick. I think just sort of falling into the ditch weight was the go, but she played what she saw. And now for Sarah, I think she will just back herself to draw once again on the backhand. She's got a clear run down to the jack, which is very well protected. And unlikely to, she'd have to play it poorly for this to go wrong. Player of her ability, I expect she'll play this pretty well. Sneaks past, not quite going to get there. So one shot it is to Forster. 18s have been completed, 8 shots have been scored. It's 5-3. Scores rolling through once again at the bottom of your screen. Shane Globerts leads Rowan Wilson in the quarter-final match effectively. Dave Quigley in front over Nathan Wise, J-By Norris and Trent Whittingham. The entrance looking good form. And Belrose, well, they've reversed some earlier misfortune. They said they did actually have the honesty session. I often call for it. I'm almost always joking, but I reckon they did have a bit of a chat about things last night. It's just sliding past. Just going to see if Dean Hodges is about for us. Dean, are you available at the moment? Feels as though this camera might have a bit of a wonky leg or something like that. It feels as though it's starting to get a bit of a lead out there. So I might send him out as our good gopher. Do you see what I'm seeing, Dino? Do you reckon that's the definite downhill side, isn't it?
The bank on the bottom zoom.
We'll stand by. We'll let the players play their bowls, but I feel as though there's a definite tight hand and a wide hand on this particular camera. And I wonder if one of the legs has just sort of sunk a little bit. Doesn't worry Karen Woodman. Is very close once again. Let me see Jess Fisher saying, yeah, just go and park one out here for us. Plays Lynn Strickleton. Done the grass. A little bit of breeze getting up though now. We'll hold that bowl up a long way. Call from Boddo. You just get down and get to that. Yeah. So we can see beautiful afternoon here. Karen Woodman, well, she slides past. Won't come in handy yet. And Strickleton, she wasn't actually too far away with the first. The breeze is making this a more noticeable wide hand. You see Jess Fisher saying, get back. We might need Jess on the weekend to help round up the children. David's maths is very good. 7 over 7 ends. Well, we're at 8 over 8 now. You can't get a much tighter game. We haven't had a 0 yet. We did have one of those in the pairs competition. Harley McDonald was a bit anxious about using the live scoring for the very first time. And on the first end, they had a double toucher. No shots recorded. How do we do that? Intelligent young bloke that Harley is. He figured it out. This is about as good a tussle as you can hope for here on the final day of sectional play here at the TAB State Championships. As we see, well, that's a good outcome for Maitland City. Pumped up the Shendelle Smith Bowl. Dean Hodges, he's gone out there. He knows how our bubble heads work on the cameras, unlike Lee Stinson. I feel as though I might have put the camera in a little bit of a soft part of the earth at the back of the rink here. It looks to me as though there's a very definitive wide hand and tight hand. Now, you can see what the intent is here. Can pump up any of those bowls. That one will do. That one will do. That will... Well, what's Sarah Boddington saying? Oh, I'm also hearing exciting news on the Fisher front. This is going to be her last state championships trading under that name. Her and her future well, forever. Very, very happy life, and look forward to seeing Jess under whatever name she's trading. Expect we'll see her back at the state championships before too long. A player of her calibre, hard to keep out. Now, Bono, this is turning into a slightly wider hand, but the breeze has, well, as I say that, the breeze has just disappeared entirely. It's a fine effort there. We'll see which one the indication is from the Maitland City girls. See if I can bring you the flags. So, beautiful afternoon, but this is about as still as we've seen things for 2.5 weeks. So, where we've had a pretty good wind most afternoons from the east, it is quite calm here this afternoon, and it's warm. 16 degrees, beautiful winter's day. Jess Fisher, she's looking to get another result over there. She's found edges. Didn't even quite get the edge. And for Sarah, well, she'll know whether Forster holds shot or not. A favourite doesn't necessarily change things too much. She's just going to look to get right back down to the jack here. She can swallow it and run through. What a shot, Sarah Boddington. You are a star. Well, that takes away any doubt, which is number one. It takes away a lot of access to the jack. There was some really friendly angles for Maitland City to make shot. It is only one, would you believe, in this game to Forster, and Sarah Boddington is out of bullets. So unless maybe there's a chance to have a dip on the backhand. Let's make sure I've got the right tool. That's what Jess Fisher's looking at. Dip on the backhand to get the bowl, because I favour, as it stands, Maitland City have second and third. And there's not much that can go wrong because it's all Maitland City coming up. So I think Jess Fisher has identified the shot that I like. Can she sit Sarah Boddington through and make the first multiple of this game? Can she get a result through the front and make the first multiple of the game? She's got a few bounces. It's not going to happen. And would you believe, one shot, Forster. 9 ends completed. 9 shots scored. Well, if this game finishes as a blowout, I will be shocked, ladies and gentlemen. So, Jennifer Northam back on the mat. And at 5-4, well, we've seen some classy bowls. Let's have a look at that last one from Sarah. As I say, I don't like to preempt what Tricia Brewer's going to put out on our social media channels. But this one, well, it's a thing of beauty. Played great weight, gave herself every chance to get down and do exactly that. Got the shot, and you feel as though Sarah Boddington's going to have to keep providing for her trio up front if they're going to be a chance of success in this game. Next door, Springwood are having a good crack against Tarrant Point. It is currently 11 shots to 7. Tarrant Point do hold sway there. And in this game, Maitland City and Forster, they need Tarrant Point to get beaten, and then one of these sides needs to rattle up a big score. Don't really see it happening. Dean's had a play with that camera. That looks much, much better, Dino. Thank you so much for that. Got a beautiful view of all the action here from Club Dubbo. Just going to slide past here. You can see it's finished up on the centre line right at the back of the rink. These great cameras bring you superb pictures from the TAB State Championships. Nick Hind is my name. It's great to have your company as we get through. We're almost there, folks. It's been a big 2.5 weeks, but we're so pleased to have been able to have got through. We lost one session with all the weather that we had, and that was only 2 venues that lost the session. We had the third venue, the Macquarie Club, were able to get through now. Lynn. The hand was up at the top of the picture there, said, "Oh, you stop for me, please." Has done so. So Sarah, she's just saying something just around Jack High, please. We currently have a couple. Well, for Karen, she's had the line twice there. Pretty reasonable. Well, good effort there from Lynn. Gets up. Makes the shot bowl a bit closer, but it also makes the jack a bit closer to the shot bowl. Fattens the target up. And for Verena here, well, she's playing this pretty good. She gets all the way down to the jack, picks it up, trails it to the back of the rink, and is now 2 down. How disappointing. I don't think Sarah saw it panning out that way. So we can see the jack has stayed up at the back of the rink. Verena Stafford played a good bowl to get it there. But now, making it hard. Well, once again, the pressure's being put on Sarah Boddington. I wonder if she's tempted. No, I thought she might have been tempted to look to bump up on the backhand, even maybe clear a road for herself to get the 2 bowls out. The risk with asking Verena to play out there is that if she overplays it, they lose their good third shot, the Forster quartet, and giving Maitland City extra opportunity to add counters. Dean's come back, and I've given him a thumbs up, a gold star, and even that afternoon tea, Dino. Don't forget your afternoon tea, or otherwise it might get eaten by me. We've had a lovely delivery of slice from another one of our local fans. Never think you get as fat as you can during a 3-week stint at the state championships. I'm very excited to go home and have one celery stick for dinner for about the next week. Umpire called next door, so a couple have come out already. But at 11-7, Springwood giving a good account of themselves. They've had some very energetic fans. Now Sarah Boddington. This looks to be a better sort of track. She can turn this black bowl over. It is a toucher. Well, she's just slipped past. It's a magnificent effort. Just going to have a look backhand. This is the wider of the two ways to get at it. I like this for her. It's a clear road now. And again, well, probably just had a little bit too much weight there to hold up. It was still carrying on through. Sarah Boddington, she didn't miss by much with the last. See if she can go close again. Looks to be slightly tighter in terms of line. She wouldn't get down and get it through the hole herself and trail it in. Oh my goodness, what a shot! That could be the shot of the tournament, the shot of the championship. Sarah Boddington, through traffic, through hell and high water, and would you believe it, it's going to be one shot to Forster. Oh, get up and about at home, folks. That is something to behold. And if you're Jess Fisher, the only option for you, realistically, is to try to trail it in now yourself. I feel like she can only do it on the backhand, though. But even that's fraught with danger because it's going to trail onto Sarah Boddington's bowl. So, can she? Will she? How will? Let's have a look at that again while they're making a decision. Well, Sarah Boddington, you always back her to be close in these situations. She just flirted with her first, the high side of the black bowl. This time she got the inside of it. You know, the only knock is that she didn't actually put the jack into the ditch herself, but my goodness, what a shot, what a bowler. And as we're back live, there was some discussion, potentially try to roll the red bowl at the back of the rink of Lynn Strickleton. It's got to go up and over twice to get to the jack. Can't put the jack in, though, so really, really tough shot. Can Jess Fisher outdo Sarah Boddington here? What an end this has been. Well, there's going to be contact. We'll see what happens. No change. One shot to Sarah Boddington. I'm just going to play it again. That was incredible. I think if you've played any sort of bowls, you've probably had an opportunity like this in the past. To do that under pressure, the pressure of a state final, to make a shot when you're down 2, to equal it up at 10 all. 5 all. 10 hands have been played, not 10 all, but it may well be before too long. I think she just shows her continued class under pressure. Peter Thornton's telling me that I can blame that bloody fly for causing the camera to move. That'll be it. that'll be it. I'll let Dean Hodges off the hook. I'll let myself off the hook. And we'll blame the wildlife here. I mean, look, it's also possible that somebody's given it a bump on the way past, and our gear is robust, but it's not impervious to any of those little things that can happen during an event. But the great Dean Hodges has been out there and has tidied it up for us. Now it looks like we're playing on the billiard table that this is here at Club Dubbo. A brilliant club, a brilliant event. And a brilliant opportunity to catch up with friends and foes from over the years. So we're all right from Jen Northam. Gets down, sits. That first bowl, Shendelle. Shendelle again on the tighter hand. A clear road here is going to be pretty good. Just turns up the Forster bowl. Go around the grounds once again for the BowlsLink app. They might be our sponsors for this one. I'll be invoicing Aaron Delaport for the hundreds of mentions. The Bowls Australia team, as I say, I've had a sneak preview of the next generation BowlsLink scoring app, and look forward to doing some testing with that. We've been tipped off we might have access to it as a web version as soon as this weekend, so we might get some of our juniors to give us some feedback. Bit big there from Lynn Strickleton. Here's now Karen Woodman. I like her. I think she's got a great attitude. She came and spoke with me prior to the championships commencing a few days ago and said, "Oh, what have I done with my BowlsLink?" And she created a duplicate account, which is not uncommon, but for every member of our sport, you'll have an existing account. If you can't access it, there is support available both through the BowlsLink page and on the Bowls New South Wales website. So make sure you check that out, or give me a ring, but probably let that happen next week once I've recovered a little bit from this big campaign. See the spirit fingers of Sarah Boddington were out trying to use that last bowl to pull up. Probably not quite been nailed here by our front end players. This lady here, well, you can see Jess Fisher, she liked that straight out of the hand. Carolyn, she gets down, grabs the jack, down the line. That's an improvement for Maitland City. Only one down now. And quickly away, Verena Stafford. This hand is on the tighter side. Didn't want to flick her own out, but that's okay. Finished up the back of the rink there. So Jess, yep. Let's go and park another one somewhere close. And just drop the weight off. I'll be a bit disappointed with that. Carolyn. It's one shot currently to Forster. And next door, well, Springwood have continued to make a real game of this. Against a Tarrant Point side that you feel might be backing themselves for a run at the title. Still a few teams that might have something to say about that. The Camerons are in front in section number 1 and are in front in this third round contest. Tarrant Point are in front, but it's not all over yet. I think Brown and Smith's team looks to be in some sort of form. Sarah Boddington, she's played just so well throughout this entire campaign. And it's Amanda Monk in section number 4 who leads currently, but East Maitland, well, I thought they might have been primed for an upset, but looks to be Park Beach holding sway there. So you can follow along with all of these matches on your device. One shot currently to Forster. Botto's asked a question and got a negative response. Probably asking if her last bowl counted. And, well, this one won't either. She's dialed it back. It's a little bit too much. So, yeah, one down. And for Jess, chance to get in there and nail it with your last now. Track looks to be okay. Weight looks to be pretty good. Just going to slip past. Well, any touch there was going to be really good for Maitland City. But would you believe? It's one shot. Buckle up, folks. What a contest. 11 ends played, 11 singles scored. Who is going to win this? I called for it early. Extra ends are not available. What is available, though, is potentially a 11-10 scoreline. A draw. Feels like a draw is a big chance here. Very well matched. Sarah Boddington keeps pulling the rabbit out of the hat, really. She's played some absolute screamers to keep her team in this contest, cut down Maitland City from any bulk scoring opportunities. Shendelle looks too high for this hand. Just say the breeze is just cooling things off a little bit late afternoon. This looks a better line. Looks a better everything. Sarah Boddington, she's asking for it to hold. You know, she's not asking for it to hold now. It's a fine correction and a fine shot. Number 1. Shendelle. A little glance off that. Probably needed it to slow it down. It's down to the jack. That's that shot for now. Karen. This is the sort of shot she's played quite well throughout. She's looking to play a foot over. Run into the shot bowl, run into the jack. Bono's getting more interested, asking for it to move now. Yeah, she's played it very well there, Karen. Doesn't need to change too much. And now for Lynette Strickleton. She did tell me I can call her Lynn. Chance to go sit with those two behind, just on the tight side here. The speed was pretty close to drawing. Karen now, well, once again, got a nice shot on, and a nice way to make a little number here too. Get the split on the shot bowl on the jack. In a reasonable sort of an area. Didn't feel like she had the pace out of the hand, and that was confirmed. Now, significant correction in line here from Lynn. Probably just added a little bit of pace. Really not too far off. And you can see what Botto's calling for. Get down, get the shot, get the jack, get the split. Don't miss high. Yeah. You say don't miss high, and that's, I mean, don't think of an elephant, and you think of an elephant, right? And so, need to call this really positive. Speak so often about the great advice of Katie Packer. You know, talk about what can go right in a head. Don't look at it negative. And that's a good guide there. Yeah, underneath that last bowl. Oh, she's on a tighter track here, Verena, but might have added on a bit more pace too. And got down to the back. Still okay there. Carolyn Hooker. This might just add on. Gets to the front of that. That's going to make things look much more difficult for Botto. If it's not second shot, it'll be very close, and it's a big chance of being tipped in. If Sarah does anything about this. I think on review, probably is two shots currently to Maitland City. And moreover, though, it's just really hard for Sarah to get a result. She's still got to play this positively. Trying to reach down, can get through. The backhand is available as well. That's where she's opting, so looking to turn the shot bowl onto the jack. Well, the speed is probably going to be just about right. Floated it high. Has the next three potentially. Probably four. Jess Fisher, this lines up in the eye. Sarah's going to stick with plan A here. Got this away on a tighter track. Clatters into a Forster bowl at the front. This could be the first multiple of this contest. It's taken 12 ends. Oh, hold your breath, folks. We might see a 2 go onto the scoreboard. No, that wasn't me sneezing. You could see using the force there, trying to get that bowl to stop. And it is a 2. Look at that. 7-6. 12 ends have been completed. They've finally found one, but well, it wasn't through a lack of trying from Forster. They had an opportunity to turn that head over. And Sarah Boddington, though, she's got a very deep bag of tricks, but couldn't find one to get out of it there. So it's going to be a Maitland City lead, 7-6. 12 ends have been completed. And games going on at the other venues. As we draw down to a conclusion of sectional play here for the final time here at this year's TAB State Championships. It is finals day tomorrow in the 4s. And let's see who progresses after what's been 2.5 weeks of action here at Club Dubbo. We thank all of our players, the markers, the umpires, the bar staff, the greenkeepers, at the 3 host venues, Club Dubbo, North Dubbo, RSL Sporties and the Macquarie Club. Further, we thank TAB for their support of this event, and of course the Dubbo Regional Council for their ongoing commitment to bringing major events to the Midwest region and to Dubbo in particular. They've been fantastic. This is fantastic here too. Well, what a response from Lynn. Finger goes in the air from Jess. Sarah's less convinced, but no, it is one down. Karen. You can see Sarah from a long way out was urging that to get to the jack. She played a beautiful line. Just missing out there only by a couple of rolls. And Lynn Strickleton she'll be looking to add on here. Just needs to flirt either side of that last bowl of Karen. Karen now. Sarah urging this to get down. Just going to clip off the outside. It's turned over the blue at the back of the rink. Don't know that that's necessarily helped any. And the call from Jess Fisher. Draw to the red. You can sneak past, sneak under. You're playing draw weight to the tee. This is something that we should all be practicing. Or be confident when we're asked to draw this fixed reference point. Well, the speed was very, very good. A couple of bowls tight. She might have been able to tip that bowl in. I wonder if Bodo's going to look at the forehand now. No, still, there is a line to the jack. And she's going to back Verena Stafford to find that with the right speed. She's pretty close here. Just going to run out of puff. Frustratingly, that might make that hole look much harder to find. This is pretty positive from Maitland City, and you can see why there's lots of favourable edges there. That's one of them. That's another one, and that will be still only one shot. Probably moved the jack a little bit too far now. I suspect, I'm just going to have a look at the back of the rink there. There's not really anything lying in wait. 2 seconds was the call from Sarah. Yeah, get through it on the backhand like that. Dean Hodges has come just in time to rescue his afternoon tea. Was looking a big chance of disappearing. So the call from Sarah is, I want you to look to run. Oh, well, that's just tipped over. It hasn't really changed anything. I want you to run that bowl off on the backhand or run the jack in. Nothing wrong with the effort there from Verena Stafford. Just got the line a little bit awry, but the opportunity certainly was there. In the other competitions going on at this venue, well, Tarrant Point, they're out to a blazing lead, which should see them home. Maryland's need to defeat St John's by a greater margin. So, opportunities here. And Ildra's fought back bravely against Belrose. They were down a long way early. Banno Bay got a good lead up on Warilla. The Camerons. Mum Joe Briggs in that team as well. They're looking likely. And this contest, well, it's been all shield and very little sword. Now, Jess, can she get in the raid? Not really. And for Bodo, I think plan A is going to be to look to run off the shot bowl or the jack. Get down on the backhand. Good positive weight. Talking ditch weight there. Oh, there's the jack from the next door rink. Nearly comes across. Trisha's brought her snack back for me. She's too full. Well, how am I going to... Well, I'll force it down. Yeah, you can see the call here. I think either you're looking to get to this to move it first, or you're looking to cover it over at the back, and cover is the call. Kaz Hooker. Oh, If this stops at the back of the ring, that's going to be very handy. Yes. It's a super shot. Don't think it really changes too much, though, for Botto. She's looking to sit the bowl clean now. Probably has dialed the weight back fractionally. Needs to get this to swing under the front now. She's done that. Gets her own. It's unlucky. And does that improve the count for Maitland City at all? One has come out and one tape measure. There's my next assessment. Two shots it is to Maitland City. Fantastic stuff. Let's hear once again from Andrew about all the action here in Dubbo while I eat my afternoon tea.
While you're enjoying the TAB State Championships, what about experiencing some of the other iconic attractions in the Dubbo region in your free time? Meet incredible wildlife at Taronga Western Plains Zoo. Step inside the historic Old Dubbo Jail. Discover the inspiring Royal Flying Doctor Service visitor experience and explore the spectacular Wellington Caves. If you've got a little extra time, make the most of your visit. Head to dubboregion.com.au/visit and start planning your adventure today.
Thank you, Andrew. What a place it is to visit, the Dubbo region, and we look forward to welcoming you here on your next trip. We'll be back for the state championships in 2 years' time, 2028. We'll be here once again in the Golden West for the state championships. Hopefully you'll be here too. Start practicing now. Get your team in. We see it is a 9-6 lead now to Jess Fisher from Maitland City over Sarah Boddington from Forster. Botto's probably played the best bowls of the game, but Maitland City have probably been slightly more consistent, built some better heads, and Sarah's had to find some magical shots to keep in this competition. It's a lovely bowl there from Shendelle Smith. Northam, yeah, looked as though she didn't quite give that one the push required. Jason Pinnock, he's in the coins. He's cheering on the Yamba reserve boys. Well, I understand why that includes your CEO, Jason. So you might be looking for another day without the CEO in the venue. Is that a chance? While the cat's away, the mice will play. Don't know that Greg would agree with that. He's the top dog, though, so maybe while the dog's away, the cats will be playing up at Yamba. These are the Sharks here, the Forster Sharks, and they're up to their necks here. It's been a intriguing contest, back and forth. Very hard to predict the winner. I called a draw a long way out. But there is no extra ends here today. It is the final round. This is round 3 of the women's state fours. The final round of the sectional play. Finals commence tomorrow morning. We will have the men's fours semi-final followed by the women's fours final. Wait and see who's in that. This is better here from Karen. It's a clear run. Well, 2 little slides, that'll work. And fall over, yes. And Karen's played some good bowls here for Forster. Really look to pick up for the lead. Jennifer Northam hasn't quite nailed it. She's looked to pick her up and looks to play with some confidence. Oh, just slipping under the line there. Kaz Hooker. A little correction in line required from Verena Stafford there. Carolyn looks to get that away very well. You can almost tell with these players out of the hand, the body language is good. Up, over, and again, that's probably going to be enough. Jess was saying one more. Bono's saying, well, it's still there. You just get in, draw us a nice second shot. And Verena's got this one out in a better track. Sarah Boddington interested. More interested. Wants a piece now. A big piece. Got it. What a shot. Oh. Gets back and tips over the back bowl of Karen, and I feel as though that's going to, well, it's going to confirm number one. Jess Fisher's having a good look with the aid of her 2 index fingers. Let's see which is shot second, what the position is. Applause from Maitland City. They're out to a lead, but they know that they need a stirring upset next door from Springwood. Who have played very creditably. They have had some great support, Springwood, from fans. Throughout this week, I was worried there was going to be some broken hips at some point. There was cartwheels, there was all sorts of shenanigans going on the sidelines from Springwood. Jess Fisher, you can see on the top of your picture there, she's disappointed with that one. Knew she had to play a little bit more positively, turn over the red bowl for a chance to turn this head over. I suspect it may be 2 shots to Forster and Sarah Boddington's crew. She's played great speed there, just not the finish she would have preferred. Not to say, getting 3:30 local time. And as the grass starting to chase the sun. And urging this one back was Carolyn. So yeah, perhaps underplayed the first one and then so easy to do. Overplayed with the second bowl. Sarah Boddington now an opportunity to perhaps convert, pick up the first multiple of this match for Forster. Well, she's got one clear run. She can't be clever enough to get that one through the hole, no. And no. One and a tape once again. what's going on. Keep going around the grounds. Jason Pinnock's tuning in. Of course, you can get this on your device at from the App Store. Download the Bowls Link app. Or in your browser, head to results.bowlslink.com.au. We might see an umpire again here. We won't. It is 2. Well, they're flying along suddenly here. 3 consecutive ends of 2 shots. It's gone Maitland City 2, Maitland City 2, now Forster 2, and it's now 9 shots to 8. This draw, oh, I tell you what, it feels likely. These sides feel really well matched. I wonder if it's going to be, last bowl brilliance from Jess Fisher or Sarah Boddington to find a draw somewhere, pick up a 2, trail the jack somewhere to find a little number and say, that'll do, we'll shake hands. Oh, good start. Bono will need this. Jennifer Northam puts a little bit more pressure on from the lead position. That will be appreciated. Well, Bob Ballantyne for you, Jason Pinnock. He's going well. City doing well, 2 in the reserves, so still a bit to play for. Looks as though they'll be finished first at Macquarie. Those last couple of sections are at the Macquarie Club, alongside the senior women. So the senior women and the senior men and the reserves all playing at our other 2 venues, the Macquarie Club and Dubbo City. Good effort there from Shendelle. While all the state championships action is being played here across 3 greens at the lovely Club Dubbo, home of the West Dubbo Roos. It was great to have Anthony Brown's company earlier today, the esteemed bowls coordinator from this great club. And great to have your company with us around Australia, around the world, around Dubbo. We've had plenty of visitors today. We was slice delivered early, which was a rare treat. Not that I need anything, but helps perk me up for the afternoon session. At what is the end of as we come to the end of what has been a big campaign at the TAB State Championships. Currently, not sure whether it's won either way, but for Sarah Boddington, probably doesn't necessarily change the shot. This is something that Karen Woodman has played with aplomb today, just playing a yard or so over. This one's a bit bigger than that. To turn bowls into the head, through the head. Karen has stayed up, importantly, at the back of the rink. She's in a spot that might be useful before too long. You can see there just having a little hangout with the number 6. There's that last bowl of Karen Woodman. Now this looks to be a good line here from Verena. She can get down and turn through this blue bowl. Well, that confirms number 1, and it probably puts the black bowl in the argument for number 2. assessment here from Jess. We know that this right-hand side of the screen, the backhand away from the club, is playing tighter as the breeze doesn't really get too much stronger in the afternoon, but has become more prevalent, and we see there's still more turn on the forehand, and yeah, she's calling for something not too dissimilar here. Can get off the edge of the blue, get down, get off that, and back to the jack. And play it with good speed. You might be able to just trail it off yourself. The speed was good. Speed was very fair from Maitland City's Karen Hooker there. Sarah Boddington, well, they're both sort of on the same game plan here. Verena played this very well with the last, can turn her own black bowl up into the head. Well, that's okay there too. Could well be second shot, could well be third shot. That's number one, but the next one, well, it's a bit of a lottery on our camera. And this has got a more positive feel to it. There's this kind edge that I mentioned before. There it is, clipped it across, and it's clipped it straight across to Forster. Have a look at the replay there. Just didn't get quite enough of the jack on the way through. Did Caroline Hooker. See, wanted a big fat piece and just got a sliver of it, and that's going to make 3 shots, I feel, to the Forster quartet. And Sarah Boddington's talking tactics here with her third, Verena Stafford, saying, keep an eye out at the back of the rink here. But at this stage, I think it's okay. That number 6 there and the bowl underneath it, that belongs to Forster. And that could be vital. It's the next 2 short of that. So the red and the blue and black bowl, they're the away. And they belong to Maitland City. So for Sarah, probably holding 3. She'd love to get some protection here on the backhand. Something a little bit like that. She just maybe has run a fraction further than she would have preferred. But I think for Jess Fisher, you can see what she's looking at. Ooh. You can tick another one off on your bingo card. Nick Hyde making an error with the telestrator. I like forehand through, looking for the shot bowl, a little bit of jack movement to the back of the rink. Not much can go wrong, and it's just going to be down to her execution. So Fisher now on the mat playing the forehand. We'll see what sort of speed she elects to use. This looks to be good sort of trundling, rumbling, crashing weight. Bang, crash, wallop, squeeze. Well, it's a good effort. 1 down. Here comes Sarah Boddington to come and have a look at this. Let's have a look at this ourselves on the replay. As I said, there wasn't a lot that could go wrong if the execution was right. You know, ideally dropping under for the jack, but getting through the front, the inside of the front bowl there, little squeeze on, and it's a big round of applause from Carolyn Hooker. Now, Bodo once again. This doesn't feel like a discussion. It feels like a advice that she's providing to her third. Just saying, here's what I'm going to do and here's why I'm doing it. It's great having somebody of Sarah's vast experience, representative player, state champion in your rink. So she's going to look to play a forehand. I expect to look to just sit through the pink bowl of Jess Fisher. Any little squeeze on the jack should be okay. She's very close here. Sarah Boddington, if you don't mind, take a bow once again. How many's that made? Caroline Hooker bowl is keeping things contained there. Might still only be one, but that's two sensational bowls back to back, if you don't mind. Might get the replays queued up because that was, well, two of the very, very best that we might see today. Let's have a look here at Jess Fisher. So I think she's identified. She's going to look to play a backhand shot, draw up, try to land the black bowl, or trail that jack anywhere from 1 foot to 3, 4, 5, really. Just get the jack moving. Well, just probably played it a bit too firm. Yeah, you see that's just not going to let the ball bend, and it is going to be 2 once again to Forster. 2. Looking around for someone to tell the score. But Forster get to double digits first. That looked unlikely a moment ago. And, well, here's how it all went down. So, this was the first one from Jess Fisher. So she didn't get the shot, but she improved things from 3 down to 1 down. Can consider herself unlucky not to have gone any better. But then Sarah Boddington with the bravery to go and punch off that Jess Fisher bowl on the forehand. Could have turned it up onto the jack very easily. Got it just about perfect. She's played some crackers here today, Sarah Boddington. And back live now. It is a lead for the first time in a few ends. To the Forster quartet. Next door, Tarrant Point have kept Springwood at bay, 17-13. They had to lose, and had to lose by a significant margin this afternoon to be any risk of being eliminated from this competition. These two sides were, well, both of them likely to be Springwood fans, needing that result, but also both teams needing a margin themselves. And I called it after about 6 ends. I think a draw looked very likely. Shendelle Smith, she's looked pretty likely. Don't think she's adjusted the grass line quite far enough. Playing with good positive intent, but after that first one, you need to be attentive to what your bowl has done and ensure that you're taking a little bit more paddock on this wider backhand side towards the clubhouse. That's what Karen Woodman's done. And she's done it really well. That's good stuff, good shooting. Lynn's paying attention too. This looks a good line for her bowl. Is she going to go the trip? Yeah, she will. That's number one. Lynn Strickleton has been there or thereabouts more often than not. Karen doesn't want to tighten this one up too much. She's taken a much more direct line to the jack. See, Sarah's asking for it to hold. She's going to turn Lynn up and over, but hasn't impacted the count. Well, Springwood have won another end, 17-14. Closer here from Lynn. Well, she's a bit unlucky there. But that's the value that Karen Woodman has provided. She's put bowls in the head and therefore bowls that can still be promoted, can still become involved. This is good too. Well, that'll be number one. What a shot. That's a lovely draw. Jess Fisher, she's got to call this confidently. Those two bowls of 1, 2 there of Shendelle. They look to be likely catches. This looks to be just on the narrow side. 3 catches now. And for Sarah, just wants to get back to the centre line. If it finishes past, that's really good, she's saying. So identify that there is maybe a little bit of risk. The way that jack's lined up, it's probably going to go more toward the back of the rink than the side. Well, now it might not go anywhere. Well, fatten the target up. Got to play similar sort of confident weight. Land either bowl. Get that jack moving. Good aggressive line here. Good firm weight to match. This is really good. Okay, let's get them both. Well, got the jack moving and that's a bit stiff. Really needed a fatter part of the shot bowl. Have a look at that again as it came down. And I wanted one of those bowls fat. As it turns out, got the edge of one and the edge of the other. It's flicked them out of the count, but probably still 2 to Forster. And as players change over, we're going to see Skips, Boddington and Fisher make their way to the mat. And I feel it's likely still 2 shots to Forster. This game's accelerated all of a sudden. We saw ones only through 10 or 11 ends. And then the last few we've seen that score multiply. It's been exclusively 2s. Heaven forbid we might see a 3 here. at any moment. You can see that hand not turning back the way that Sarah might have predicted, but equally that's going to be good catcher. Harder for Jess though. Like there's a lot of bowls if she trails the jack, but it's not an easy bowl to get the jack moving. And being a couple down, might be more inclined to just try to take her medicine and draw for shot. Sarah persevering on this forehand. You can see the arm swing going on. Got the trot now. Speed was pretty fair. Game is completing. Outside, I'll run through the results once again from all our venues. Jess Fisher, she'll get down, she'll draw the shot. Well done. Mighty bowl. And it'll be 1 to Maitland City, and it'll be 10 shots all. The enormous campaign of Rowan Wilson is in jeopardy. He trails by 5 shots with 4 to play against Tuncurry Beach and Shane Globitz. And a meeting of the minds from Maitland City. Ella Cameron just in front against Mona Vale. In this game, yeah, we've got two, well, the scoreboard's one end ahead of the ticker. And big win again for Brianna Smith. She looks to be in imperious form as St John's Park make their way towards a potential semi-final berth and maybe a final appearance tomorrow. We'll be bringing you Andrew Lynn's back in the driver's seat tomorrow, and we'll be bringing you the great pictures from the men's fours semi-final commencing at 9 a.m. and the women's fours final commencing, well, approximately 1 p.m. but there's always that chance that we might see 2 games in the morning that run particularly late, or we have an issue getting underway on time. So we'll see how we go, but it's been fantastic to have had your company throughout the last few weeks. And I'll be back on the weekend, potentially alongside Andrew or one of the members of our junior committee or whatever we're up to here at beautiful Club Dubbo. Someone's sending me love letters about dinner this evening, so we'll see. Suggestion is Mexican. I'm not averse to that. Good start there from Shendelle. She's definitely played with great credit to herself and her club. Jennifer Northam, she's found a yard or so. Just going to get the thinnest piece of the shot bowl. Shendelle was a great correction after losing the first one. Was was able to adjust back and is now able to draw the shot. And Karen Woodman on the forehand. Was another bowl. Ricochets from the neighbouring rink. Sarah Boddington was awake to it. Asking for it to hold. There's the one on her rink. You can see, well, Karen's played good positive intent. There's been very few short bowls from Karen, and if you've got someone behind you the calibre of Sarah Boddington, get out of my road might be the Sarah Boddington message. I only need 2 bowls to keep us in the hunt here. Oh, that's very good there from Lynn. And for Boddo, things haven't really changed. You're just subtracting a little bit of speed now, mate. Same to Karen. You get down and draw. Get one close for me. There's Sarah calling for it to move. And yep, so often we see with a lot of our players, if you're missed on the quick side with the first, try to dial it back and then go too far. As the shadows come right through the middle of the rink here on what has been a glorious day here in the Golden West. It's a glorious shot there too. Doesn't improve the count, but gets the tee covered. Interesting to see Sarah. She's very conscious of her players' preferences and capabilities. Very rarely has she called for a backhand shot from Karen Woodman, but straight away has called for the backhand here from Verena. Clearly feels that's her stronger hand, her more must be getting late today, her more likely way to get a shot. Now once again, just needing this one to pull up. Doesn't want the jack spilling to the back of the ring. Well, that's unfortunate. Sarah saying, ooh, I've got it, please. Unlucky there. Yeah, a little bit too much weight played. Kaz, and it's been costly. Costly a couple of times in this, in the fours games today. It's one where you do see jacks getting moved around, and if they're not doing that with express intent, well, that's a great bowl. That's moved the jack an eighth of a roll, and Sarah Boddington gets the chalk out, hits it and says thank you very much. Don't know that it will have improved the count once again. Just that little bit of movement may well have brought the Maitland City, the purple bowl, into second shot. Players having their assessment on the stroll past. Jess Fisher's going to have an assessment of this. She's got the first chance to strike, and doesn't look like there's much going on for Jessica Fisher and for Maitland City. The back of the rink is vacant, and the front of the rink, the backhand, there's a lot of traffic, and it's a tight hand. I feel, Jess wants to go firmer on the forehand. I think that's probably a better way. Jack movement to the right-hand side of picture will favour Maitland City. That shot, but I think that might be second shot there, so an opportunity, to say, on the forehand to crash, get the jack moving over in this direction somewhere, and we'll see what happens. Get out in the open. You can't draw the shot there. We'll need to get the jack moving and get it moving first. Doesn't want to lose her bowl, though, importantly. Get another one in the catching pen. Well, she won't lose this. She gets contact. Whoo! It's whizzing past. Well, hasn't really changed anything for Sarah Boddington. She might be looking to go cover up at the back of the rink there. Get something sort of back there. Split a few things up. Oh, just need that to spin. I think Jess Fisher's, well, she's committed to this now. Don't change your shot after that. She was so close with the first one. Can she? Has dialed the weight back fractionally. It's causing it to swing and it's going to find the hole. I think one down's okay. Botto's got another bowl to come. But even for Sarah, I think it's very hard to make any more. There may be a shot on the forehand to get through, can get edges of her own, can get that bowl out, but looks low percentage. So there's not a heap of draw on this backhand. I thought you might have a look the other way. Just because it is a kinder hand, we know it will get back. Yeah, straight away she said, no, that's too high. So, decision time now. Is it 1 or 2? Verena takes one out. And once again, the measuring stick. Games are finishing all around the greens here. We'll run you through the results. Looks as though this game might be one of the later ones to finish. There's been some bigger results there. David Axon claimed a big win for Tarrant Point. I'll check out what that means for our sections for you as well, as the sections with all the games completed, we can tell you who will feature. So it is in section number 1. In the men's fours, it is Tarrant Point who progress. So Kyle Hansen, Shane White, David Axon and Ray Pearce have claimed that section with, would you believe, 2 wins and a draw, and remarkably running second in the section with 1 win and 2 draws is Maryland's Matt Peterson David Ferguson and Ben Twist have had a draw in their third round contest, but it was probably largely academic after a big win to Tarrant Point in the final round. The other venues as well. So still going in section number 2. It is a lead live to Tuncurry, but Marimula are hanging in there. Section 3 is completed. Raymond Terrace, skipped by Jay by Norris, through with 3 good wins. Dave Quigley's young team, the runners up there, they've been a feature of this event. And in section number 4 in the men's fours, it is the entrants through 3 out of 3. East Lismore and Belrose picked up consolation wins this afternoon. But that competition, we know 3 of our 4 finalists, and so we know that tomorrow at 9 a.m. on the live stream it will be Tarrant Point versus the winner of Tuncurry Beach and Merimbula. The other live streaming match will be Raymond Terrace up against the entrants. So we won't have that one on the stream, but we'll be bringing you all the updates tomorrow. And look, if there is a blowout for whatever reason, we'll probably switch the cameras around. Scores rolling through in the seniors and reserves at the bottom of your picture. 1 shot currently to Tuncurry. Not to Tuncurry Beach, to Forster, of course, the other side of the bridge. And with games completing elsewhere, I will let you know what's happening here. We've still got a few games to complete in the women's fours, so less certain the picture there. If any sections have been completed, I will let you know what the results are there. This is, well, very careful from Karen Woodman. She was a bit anxious about that one. In section number 3, St John's Park with a monster margin, as you'd expect, with 4 powerhouse players. Even without Dawn Heyman, they have got through, conceding only 30 shots in their sectional games. So a mighty performance from St John's Park in section number 3. The other 3 sections, their games are still going, so no confirmation as yet. But we're here with each of the ends. 16 ends have been completed here. In fact, I think you'll find it 17 ends have been completed here, and somebody's been a bit slack. It would be Nick Hind, who is with you till the end. 17 ends have been completed. We've got 4 ends to play. Forster in front by 2. Next door, Spring would have given a great account of themselves in this final game against a very strong-looking Tarrant Point team, but Tarrant Point lead by 4 shots with 3 ends to go. Asking for it to hold. That might just bounce on through. Well, it's turned her own bowl up. Verena. And it's probably made 2 or 3 here. One never knows when it might be a match-winning lead. 1 shot might be a match-winning lead here, given the scarcity of scoring. Good here from Caves. Gets down, sits the bowl. She stay around for shot. I feel as though that must be very close. I think Botto's saying we're 1 down. And Maitland City. You can see some of the players perhaps looking a little bit weary. It's been a big campaign for the players. It's been a big campaign for our team here, the Bowls New South Wales team, at the TAB State Championships, but we'll be bringing you all the action through till tomorrow's Women's Fours Final. It'll be the final event of the program this year. And then we'll have a little break from this live streaming and be back on Saturday morning, where you'll see the action from the Junior Inter-Region 7-a-side. This is a lovely bowl here from Sarah. She's played so well today. What a shot. Hit the replay button. Well, that's made it very tough. I think there's not really much on here for Jess Fisher. Sarah Boddington just keeps landing these blows. Got to try to draw this. This hand has got the finish to do so. Wow, it's a great effort from Jess. It's a really, really good effort. Probably second shot now. So Sarah Boddington is asking, what happens if I roll that once? Do I get another one or two? And I think the answer is yes-ish. If you roll it once or twice, it's got something else to run into. So I think for Sarah, just try to draw it again. Can turn through this front bowl. That's a Verena Stafford bowl as well. And that covers it right over. And this is kind of good luck stuff now for Jess Fisher, particularly if it's more than one down. You might almost declare this. So if it's only one down, you might just declare this. I can't see a way that Jess Fisher can improve this head too much without playing just something absolutely out of the top draw. Bring in my favourite angle from the other end. Yeah, this is what she's going to be looking at, Jess Fisher. There's a lot of traffic there. The black bowl in the middle of the picture, the pale blue, belong to Forster. You can see what the intent is. And even if she was able to get through the front with any sort of purpose, I can't see a Maitland City Bowl hanging around. And anything back this way belongs to Forster. So, as I say, if she's only one down, you almost declare this. If it's more than one, well, you've got to play it and try to improve things. Is there a chance maybe of the jack being able to be chipped, right angles across? Very tricky. Feels like it's going to be pinball time. But as I say, if it's less than two, I think you can almost just put this in your pocket and say, well, you've surrounded it. So the players have got, they'll have their view, they'll have their opinion. And Jess Fisher, well, she walks back to the mat. She's got one of those grins that says to me, there's not much I can do here. So, what can she do? She's going to look to play the forehand. And, yep, not much we can do there. The question is, what is the count to? So, 1. Two. And Karen Woodman's got into the head. Sure, there's a few who get a bit anxious when their second gets in there. They say, oh, they might try to get a bit greedy all of a sudden. And it is going to be a measure for the third shot. Verena Stafford has clearly gone for a comfort stop and delegated her duties to Karen Woodman at the second position. And Karen was reluctant. But it is 2 shots to Forster. Well, let's hit the replay button. This was it. Setting it up from Sarah Boddington. She's just played some absolutely stunning bowls this afternoon. We've seen some true class from our campaigners. That was just something special. So, back live. And it's going to be Forster with a 4-shot lead, 3 ends to play. The draw is still very much in play here, folks, if you're playing along at home. I called a draw after only 6 or 7 ends were completed in this match. I'm still calling it now. Draw just feels likely. The temperature is starting to drop here. We did hit 17, but as the shadows increase in length, there's hugs and kisses, handshakes and smiles all across the green as matches come to a conclusion. So once I know more finalised results from this women's competition, I will let you know who your finalists will be. Marimbula continue to fight against Tuncurry Beach for their spot in the final, but it looks to be long odds now. 7 shots required for Marimbula to get a draw, and currently a draw won't be good enough. So Marimbula need 8 shots in 2 ends for the massive campaign of Rowan Wilson to continue. And while he'd love to have another state title to his name, I think they're already going to build a statue outside Club Sapphire for the great man. He'll sleep for a week after this. Suspect Sarah Boddington will need to as well. She has had a huge campaign herself. We've seen a fair bit of her in action. Not necessarily the scheduled game. She just conveniently happens to be on the rink next door if we have early finishes in semi-finals or whatever you may see. Karen, she's played this well. Gets her nose on the front. Well done. Gets the thumbs up from Botto and gets the toucher on. It's going to be a hard one to remove immediately. The call from Jess is backhand. Get past. I'm okay with that. Razor Ray Pearce, he's doing the right thing by his charges. He's staying out there as, would you believe, Springwood. Well, they've sprung something on their much more fancied Tarrant Point opponents. It's 19 all next door. Well, of course that would happen. They'll come down to the wire too. Karen Woodman, this looks to be on a pretty fair track to get down, sit her own bowl. Just turned it down onto the jack. That doesn't make it any easier. We saw Lynn had pretty good speed with the last one. She can sneak under the front blue bowl of Jen Northam. That sort of speed might see a result. Oh, she's backed the weight right off there. Be disappointed with that. The first one was so good. Well, let's be careful now, Verena. Was careful enough. Really speed dependent, that bowl. She pops the jack. Might make you look a little bit silly, but that speed was relatively low risk. And you can see the men's fours team, they're cheering on their Tarrant Point Chargers as they face a stern test from the probably unheralded would be the nice way of saying it, Springwood team. But as I say, they're all good players here. There's just there's good teams and really good teams to win a region title. And you don't turn up, or if it's their day, you never know what can happen. And once again, I think Verena might have got a little bit scared after potentially popping the jack off with her last. That's going to be a nuisance bowl, though, in the eye. You can see the call from Jess. Get down to it, flick it off. Get through the front of that bowl. Get the jack moving. Could well make a couple here for Maitland City. So you've got to play this with some positivity. We'll see how much turn there is on this rink. Yeah, I don't know that there's sufficient draw to get to it around that black bowl. It's another catcher. And Fisher and Boddington assess. Once again, not a heap at the back of the rink, and as the pace comes off the green, I say I like for Jess Fisher for Maitland, firm up through there, get the jack going in this direction, somewhere to the back of the rink there, an opportunity to make a couple. I think at this point, whether it's one down or two down, either way it becomes 5 or more shots required for Maitland City in 2 ends. That's always going to be hard. So Sarah, once again, she's just having a look at the angles from this end. I imagine mentally she's playing the shot of her opponent. And I think for Sarah, she can play the forehand with a lot of confidence here to get back to the centre. Can do the same thing on the backhand, but there's just that little niggle in the road. Forehand is the option. Oh, this is a curious shot. I can only expect that's a bit of a misfire there. Really don't understand what the aim of that was. It is Karen Woodman on the jack. Looks to me to be second and third, like unless she was looking to get these 2 bowls out, but it seems a risky strategy at this stage of the game. This looks to be pretty good from Jess Fisher. Gets the edge. Well, got the jack out in the open. Split things up. May well still be down though. Watto's coming up to have a look at it, so see Jess Fisher. Never looked like missing, did it? The whole way down. Would have loved to have got a little bit more of the bowl rather than just the edge. But second prize, got the jack out in the open, can see it. Sarah Boddington's come to have a visit. See what's going on. It could well be... Oh, I think I'll like the black for number one. Either way, I think for Sarah Boddington, probably drawing close. I mean, there's maybe a chance to run the jack into the ditch. But it's a bare jack. It's a high-risk play. I think jack in the pit from Jess Fisher would be a massive shot to try to attempt. Particularly, when your opponent is Sarah Boddington. Well, if they weren't one down before, they certainly are now, Maitland City. And for Jess Fisher, well, with where that's parked up, though, maybe there is the opportunity. 2 down is the call. Well, once again, another one for the bingo card. Another one for the fine jar. Look for the jack back for a number. You sit the bowl through. You're good. That is a Maitland City bowl at the front of the rink. I think that's what is being asked for. Basically, play whatever speed you think you can get to the jack with, and get it moving to the back of the rink. Make a number, and then it's game on. So, well, buckle up, folks. They're having a bit of a giggle about it. So, Jess Fisher, she is lining up on the backhand. Let's see how much weight she looks to play. She's playing weight for the jack. Looking to trail it, looking to sink. Probably wants it to hold now to get the shot bowl. Well, it's a mighty effort. Well, they had nasty intentions there, Maitland City. But Sarah Boddington was good enough to leave just a big enough gap for Jess Fisher to run that bowl through. And the indication was it's going to be 2 shots here to Forster. And that will put the Forster quartet, Jennifer Northam, Karen Woodman, Verena Stafford and Sarah Boddington, up by 6 with 2 ends to play. It is 1 shot the margin next door between the hot shot Tarrant Point side and the underdog Springwood team. Tarrant Point, the 1 shot lead going into the final end there. I feel we've, as we so often do on the Bowls New South Wales YouTube channel, we found the game that's going to go all night. They've been scoring very lightly, and the pace of play hasn't been a big issue. They've had a lot of measuring to do because it has only been 1s and 2s. And it was 2 shots to Forster, 2 shots to Boddington, so 6 required. With 2 potential ends to be completed here for Maitland City to come back. Match just completing around the other rinks. So I can let you know about the remaining sectional matches and sectional winners. So it is going to be in section number 1, Leanne Pryor, Charlie Cameron, Joanne Briggs and Ella Cameron representing Gunnedah. They will be your first, winners at least of section number 1, and they will be playing in tomorrow's semi-finals. In section number 2, Sarah Boddington, well, she needed to get a win and a bit of margin and needed a loss by Tarrant Point. Now, that loss is still a possibility, but the margin may not be. So we'll just wait and see what happens next door. But Bodo might still have a remarkable chance to sneak through with a victory here, particularly if she can grab a 4 or 5 on this end, make up a bit more, but I think it's just going to be out of reach. In section 2. Section 3, we know is St John's Park. It is Brandon Smith has skipped there through. And in section number 4, we know it is Amanda Monk from Park Beach. So we have 3 of our 4 semi-finalists in the women's. We have 3 of our 4 semi-finalists in the men's competition. We have 4 out of our 4 semi-finalists in the men's competition. They've shook hands on green 2, and it is going to be Tuncurry Beach, Paul Jopson, Kent Price, Craig Donaldson, and Shane Globitz. You will see them in tomorrow's semi-final from 9 a.m. up against Kyle Hansen, Shane White, David Axon, and Ray Pearce for Tarrant Point. So your semi-finalists are confirmed in the men's. They are all but confirmed here in the women's. Well, it's a good effort there from Karen, playing the wider hand. And hands are being grasped, clasped, and shook on the neighbouring rink. And 2 shots it was to Tarrant Point, who have held on. They will claim that section with a great contest over a valiant Springwood team who probably weren't pleased with their first 2 performances. They have given themselves a great showing this afternoon, and their supporters, who have been brilliant all week, are going to have something to go home and be proud of. And what that also means, 22-19, so what that also means is that the outcome of this game is now irrelevant. The section winners are confirmed, and tomorrow in your semi-final in the women's fours, it will be the Camerons, Leanne Pryor, Charlie Cameron, Joe Briggs, and Ella Cameron for Gunnedah up against Tarrant Point in the morning, and the other match will be St John's Park against Park Beach. So, whew, well done. Well done to all our competitors. It's an awesome attack there from Verena. And with just 2 ends to play here, they're playing for pride at this stage. Sarah Boddington needed the unlikely victory to Springwood, and then, as I say, had to spring a big surprise on Maitland City. There was a 19-odd shot margin that needed to be overcome, and it's not going to happen today. Currently 2 at least to Maitland City, and with 2 ends to play, they will look to go out with a bang. I've called for a draw. We've seen some amazing bowls here in this semi-finals prelude almost. Sarah Boddington, well, she continues to play incredible bowls. She's got the jack moving again. Out in the open, probably one, yes. And Jess Fisher now drawing to a pretty well wide open jack. This is being asked to loop home. I think it'll do that just fine. Oh, yeah, it will. Lovely shot there from Jess Fisher. The index finger, Carolyn Hooker goes in the air. As we look forward to all the finals action tomorrow, I'll run through for a final time perhaps the results in the bottom of your screen there. Got a bit of a glitch, so that is all the action from these matches here at the state championships. This is the last game out on the green. And it is Jess Fisher looking to draw for 2 shots before they play the final end. Hasn't quite given that enough, and it will be 1 to Maitland City, and it will be the final end to get underway. And Maitland City require a 5 for my early prediction of a draw to come through. You've got to have the big ones in these competitions. As a commentator, as an expert. And that was my early call. Feels unlikely now, but my goodness, these teams have had tremendous tussle. And I think Sarah Boddington can walk away with her head held very high. She's played some brilliant bowls throughout what's been a monster campaign. Now, things are getting close in the senior events as well, so make sure you download the BowlsLink app. You can head to the BowlsLink results portal. That's results.bowlslink.com.au. Once all those games are completed, we will know who our finalists will be. And I might just do a very quick sweep, given this end is largely mathematic. At the moment, the Eric Johannes Corrimal team is through, but will rely on Curry to knock over Sawtell. Now, how's that looking? Not likely at all, so it could be a departure for potential pre-events favourites. Corrimal there, and Sawtell likely to progress. Jeff Myers is through from South Tamworth with 3 wins out of 3. Good competitive section there. We'll see. That's another. Well, is the 5 on? All of a sudden, that's 2 shots to Maitland City. And still games to be completed around the grounds there. Still a bunch of games, and some of them are fair way off in the reserve, so I won't trouble you with those results in the senior 4s. Well, it's getting pretty close. And the only section that we can guarantee is that Joy Scott has won her section for Merimbula in section number 4, so she will be through. 2 wins, 1 loss, plus 21. Good enough to get Joy Scott through in the senior women's section 4. The rest of those results still up in the air, so make sure you've got your devices and check in as the games come to their conclusion. They won't be too far away. Currently it is probably one to look to. Maitland City. Well, Karen Woodman, she's played some lovely bowls today, and that's another one. That'll cut the count down to 1. And going to be very, very tricky for Maitland City to find the 5 or more required to get a draw or a victory over Forster this afternoon. So under the line there. Yeah, Sarah, well, she wants her troops to be boxing on right till the end. Well, Jason Pinnock's doing some maths for us at the other end. If only you were here helping out, Jace, I could put you to work. It's a lovely effort here. And a great finishing bowl from Verena Stafford. She's looking to go out. And I think all these players can take something away from how they've played today. Every single player on this rink has played some brilliant bowls, and I'll be able to tell their families and their great-great-grandchildren one day that they played at the very first Bowls New South Wales State Championships, where live scoring was a feature. And we credit all the players and the volunteers for their willingness to engage with that. As just had one of the competitors has brought back a portable battery pack that we've got just on standby. Sarah Boddington, she might be looking to see if she can get both bowls out here. You know, at this point of the campaign, it's really just a bit of hit and giggle for Jess Fisher and Botto. I'm sure they'll still be playing to show themselves off at their very best here as we get to the final couple of bowls of sectional play here at the TAB State Championships. Nick Hind has been my name, and it continues to be. Jason Pinnock's calling for a live ladder feature. You might have to talk to Clive Adams about that. He's got some ideas. Well, one goes out. That's a fine bowl. That's probably made 2 again. And all of a sudden, maybe there is a 4 or a 5 available. I think it's 2. And third shot belongs to Forster. 4th and 5th, though, belong to Maitland City. Can Jess Fisher pluck something from the clouds on this final end? You see the long shadows here. We thank our host clubs. We thank everybody who's been involved with us. Well, that light blue bowl, sit that through and stay for 5 is my call. And then pressure on Botto. Let's see it, Jess. They're having a giggle. There's nothing to lose. Why not? Come on, Jess. I need to get my earpiece in. Now's not the time to worry about it too much. Let's just get excited. Go get it. Yep, sit and stay. Make 5. Put the pressure on. Here we go. Jess Fisher. Tell you what, she's in a bit of an area. Just needs to get right down. Isn't going to do so. Well, there goes my draw, and Bono's not going to play the last bowl. She said, that's it. We'll declare it. 1 down. And we'll declare it however many down. At this stage, it's all academic. Don't worry about measuring. They're just going to say it's 2. And Maitland City claim 2 on the final end and fall to Sarah Boddington's Forster side. Boddo played some outstanding bowls. Whew, what a campaign. Really want to thank everybody who has joined us throughout the state championships. We know it's been fantastic to enjoy meeting everybody in person, online, and we look forward to bringing you more great pictures tomorrow. Andrew Lynn will be back in the driver's seat from 9 a.m. But on behalf of the entire Bowls New South Wales team, Dean Hodges, Andrew Lynn, Lee Stinson, Kira O'Shea, Tricia Brewer, and myself, Nick Hind, it's been fantastic to have your company with us, and we look forward to your company again very, very soon.